Hello, hello. I had some time. I wanted to go live again. I wanted to talk about night vision and just every other stupid thing that sometimes comes across our face. Hey, little one. Oh, you're so affectionate. The most attractive cat right here. The most attractive cat ever. Okay. I've come to be a pain. Perfect. Will you help me with something? I was watching back a live stream of mine and I'm like, I feel like some background audio would be really good. And I haven't set up OBS yet for YouTube. But can you tell me, like, can you hear background noise, background music? Am I like the only one here right now? We just started like a minute ago, but you all can help me and enjoy the absolutely cute cat that is Cinder. And then this is how I edit most days. She just follows. Took my buddy out to the range, who only used a chest rig, and he wanted to test out the weight of my body armor, and he almost dropped. What kind of body armor? What kind of body armor? Like what plates were in there? Can't hear any background music right now. Okay, let's crank it up a little bit. This is like 50%. I feel it's really loud for me. Besides the beautiful voice of Reaver Approach. Can we hear that? If not, then it might just be some other settings that I need to work on within YouTube. Yeah, but what body armor were you running? 0? Okay. Well, we uh we hoped. We hoped it would be that simple, but I'll need to set up another audio source, but YouTube ain't that good. Ain't that good. 11 by 14 steel level 4s. Whoa! Oh man. Rip ears? Did you wait? Are you kidding me? Now I can't tell. Now I can't tell. Um, 11 by 14 steel is gonna be heavy, heavy. I had 10 by 12 steels for my first set of armor, and oh man, I remember running for the first time in it and trying to come to a quick stop, and couldn't do it. Uh, what song do you have on right now? This is just some synth wave by White Bat Audio. This is what I use for the background music of all my stuff. I've used it for years and years and years because he's such a good guy to work with. Can't stay for the live, but have a good night. Rad Coalition, thank you. Good to have you. Good to see you. Let me the next time I do this, I'm gonna do it all through OBS because I have so much more control over it. This was just kind of impromptu because I got out of work a little early. That's a nice cat, but this is the greatest cat in the world. She is the greatest cat in the world. She's perfect in every way. She's absolutely adorable. She's got these pretty blue eyes. She's only a little bit naughty. One of her favorite things is ass slaps. So she wakes us up in the middle of the night and then just she wants her ass slaps. Look at all that hair come off my hands. OBS is so easy to operate. I before I started YouTube, I was actually a streamer. Streamer. We were affiliate and shit, but I loved OBS. OBS was great. I was just hoping that I could at least like play some background audio with it just going through. Oh my God, he's live. What's up, Outlaw? I want to play more Helldivers tonight. Just let me know when you're on. I thought you were an AI. You never recreate me with AI. OBS with the Stream Deck. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, I guess I can just OBS with the Stream Deck. Oh, most of the time my Stream Deck is just used for editing these days. I don't use it for anything specific or websites that I go to a lot. I love that you made the sound. We're with the memes. We're with the memes. So like toe picks when? Never. Never. Okay. Let me see if I just standing in steel plates is rough. You really feel steel plates. Oh my gosh. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I think it was today. I was driving Quantum to the airport. She's currently in Hawaii, working on a super satellite for NASA. So everybody should congratulate Quantum for the massive milestone. She almost got kicked off her flight. They almost sold her ticket for no reason, and we almost had to go full Karen. If you could only pick one of your rifles for the zombie apocalypse, what would it be? Oh, you're gonna do me like that? Well, that's a tough question because I want to pick the Tavor because it's the most reliable out of everything I have, and just like a 5.56 platform, I think is solid. But if something ever did break in it, it'd be really hard to replace in it. But then I've got an AR-15, which is one of the more common rifles in the United States, but that AR is nothing special. It's a what is it? It's a D, not a DD. It's a Diamondback. It's a DB. It's just a piece of shit. I only bought it for the optic and the stock on it because the guy was selling it for like $700. So I bought it from him because it had a Vortex Huey on it, which is normally like $400 on the used market ish, maybe 350 if there's a good deal. And then the SB Tactical Brace, which is like another $300. So I'm like, I'm kind of getting the AR for free, so I bought it. So I think I think oop, oop, oop. I think I'd bring the Devore. I would take off the EOTech and put on an LPVO though. I'm absolutely doing you like that. You want to buy another one for cheap? How? What is it? What are you trying to get? Another AR? I don't want another AR. I don't want another AR. Like I said, I only bought it for the optic, but a couple nights ago, I was doing a shoot for the NVMe, and the FRT gun with normal parts. I'm a little bit more interested. Let's chat tonight. Let's chat tonight. That piece of shit is awesome. Going to start the build over. I need to install my FRT. That's which is gonna go in that thing. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. I've got a new bolt and everything. Oh, I love accidental question mark in there. Yes, yes. But yeah, I think I'd go something for the 5.56. There's a chunk of me that wants to just go 22, but I feel like I'd feel naked out there. If I was just battling zombies, I'm bringing the M&P 22 or the ARX 22 because I can just have thousands of rounds on me for next to no weights. That would be a 22 is the most underrated zombie gun of all time. If anything, a rifle of some kind, so just like a regular rifle, and then a 22 pistol that you can just cap zombies with, especially if like they're the slow ones, because you can just like boom, like a Ruger Mark IV or something like that, suppressed. Ooh, ooh, that would be just Excelsior, Excelsior. If you were to get Gen 3 nods, would you want them to be green phosphor or whites? I have Gen 3 nods, and they are whites. Because they're there, just sitting there. I From all the research that I was doing, and then just from like the other stuff that I've used, I feel like white phosphor is a little bit easier on the eyes, and I feel like, and this could just be me, is you would I can see contrast easier. Damn, bro, you really got to flex on us. This was like a huge that was a huge savings for me. I saved forever. I saved 2 tax returns, and then I had like a temporary promotion at work, where I was getting an extra 500 per paycheck because I was doing the work of like a higher level boss that they just didn't put in. And so I told myself like this is going to be the year I get nods. I said no suppressors, and I ended up getting that instead. And I've loved him ever since. I've loved him ever since. Uh, how heavy uh, how heavy is the belt with all your stuff on? I really don't know. That's something that I wouldn't mind weighing because as I have it now, it's actually pretty decent. But if you've got mags in there, it's gonna be a couple pounds. But honestly, it really ain't too bad because a lot of it is just some lightweight stuff and then medical. Like a good portion of it is medical, which isn't overly heavy. But I would just say with mags, 2 pounds, maybe three. But I honestly, I need to weigh it sometime. That'd be good stuff to have. As a YouTuber, I feel like you should be measuring and weighing that stuff because weight is such a big deal, of course. But I I haven't done it because it's never bothered me. Rhino Defense, good to see you, my man. Hey, dude, hope you've been doing good. So I haven't been tagging you in every video I made, dude. Just tag me in whatever you want. Tag me in whatever you want. But I'm always excited to see when you post another video. How much were the NVGs? They were just under 9,000 when I purchased them. Um, I got the RNVGs from um, Night Vision Inc. is where I got them from. I didn't get to pick the specs of the tubes, but this was pre 2020, so it was a lot cheaper. And then the big thing is like I saved a decent amount of money this way is they don't articulate, which one that increases the durability, and I was really like worried about breaking them. But if I was to do it again, I would get ones that articulate because you can store them a little bit more comfortably. You can go one eye if you wanted to. That's what I would do again. But that's where I saved a decent amount of money. John's Life, hello. How you doing, my man? Slater, good to see you. Triple mag setup with an IFAC isn't too terribly heavy. Yeah, it really isn't. And like it's got the new system that I have because I'm currently doing a setup from Core, which I've absolutely loved. I don't get any kickback or anything from them, but the Core battle belt has been amazing. Just because I've never used a two piece, I would have a belt underneath, and then I would take my actual gun belt with everything, put it over the top, and then get a couple keepers like these and then clip them around and then it'd be on my left and right and that's what would hold my belt in place so it would always kind of move around and shift. But I used it for 10 years, so I was just what I had, and I liked it, but way better. But it doesn't have a Cobra buckle on it anymore, and I know that pulls down on the weight a little bit as well. How much? Probably just a couple ounces though. I just hate having a full weight belt. I prefer a chest rig or body armor myself. And that's the thing is like you got to run what you like the best. For me, I would much rather have a belt on than any form of chest rig or anything like that. If I could get everything onto my belt, which sometimes it looks like I try to get everything onto my belt, I prefer that way more. I can breathe more, it moves, and it could just be that I'm more used to wearing belt gear than I am with anything else. But in the end, you got to use what works best for you. If a chest rig is more comfortable, then a chest rig is more comfortable. When I'm doing a lot of vehicle stuff, when like Outlaw and I are doing like hood rat shit, I usually just do a chest rig and I skip the belts because if I'm going in and out of a vehicle, I don't want like a big round belt catching on all the doors. Or more importantly, when you pull your seatbelt off, it's way more likely to catch on stuff. So I usually run like an invert or something like super low profile, and it's way more comfortable. You don't want me to tag you in things? You can tag me whenever you want, as long as it's semi-relevant. Semi-relevant. I'm just waiting to get tagged in like a hate comment video. Oh, you don't want me to tag you in things. Okay, I read that wrong. I read that wrong. I read that wrong. Now I know what you mean. My 308 setup is pretty stout, about 30 pounds. Is that just with all the mags? I used to put mine over, had the Cobra buckle come undone a couple of times, dropping the whole kit. How did the Cobra belt? I mean, I'm I'm assuming it's not an Austria Alpine Cobra buckle because they're meant to like never come undone. Um, so I'm wondering how that happened. I prefer chest rigs myself. I can't blame you. I can't blame you. And I think depending on people's builds, that's definitely something that um it's something that is going to affect like how much you like it. Like for me, I'm built like a toothpick, so putting on a belt is really easy for me. For either like heavier dudes, than if you've got like fat or a little bit of belly going into your belt, then that's going to be super uncomfortable. But a chest rig is going to be a lot more comfortable. That isn't all of comfort, but I know that absolutely plays a role into it. Same thing with concealed carry and stuff like that. Kicking my butt, so I haven't sent anything to my editor, and I have a little bit of work avoidance because I love the creating process and getting to the footage, sitting down and sifting through it all. Dude, I get that. I get that. I've got like 3 long format videos filmed, and it's just the editing process takes so long. I was sitting with Flirganator, doing the last little bits of my most recent video, and it's just I I spend 30, 40 hours editing each individual video, and it sucks. It sucks. I'm to the point when I probably should, maybe not, should hire an editor, but I feel like I can take it on. And sometimes I do like editing. I don't like editing long format videos. I love doing long format videos, but putting them all together is usually the most frustrating, and I hate the video by the end of it. Something that I really avoid because it's boring. Yeah, editing can certainly be boring. I've also been shooting with a suppressor now for about a month or two with an Otter Creek Lab Polonium K. How have you liked it? How have you liked it? I'm actually looking into getting my second suppressor. I think I'm going to get an Osprey for the Vector. An Osprey for the Vector. 12 mags for the C308. That is a lot of weights. How's the KSG? Did the top rail get fixed? Top rail is fixed. I actually reached out to the company the day it happened, and they sent out new parts within. I think I got new parts within 3 days. I didn't reach out as a YouTuber or anything like that. So it's not like they were like trying to win me over as a company, because I purchased all that stuff before I was a YouTuber. And then, I mean, I'm only a small YouTuber. It's not like I have any sway. But they did send out new stuff, and I have got it fixed. So I need to pull out the KSG again because I love the KSG. I just haven't done it. I've kind of avoided shotgun work because I know I'm not really like an expert with it, and it seems like a lot of shotgun guys are really really into the weeds on some of the stuff. And then, I mean, like for me, I like the shotgun bandoliers because it's just easy to carry a lot of shells on you. And so I usually reload my California speed loaders with it because that's like the best way to reload a shotgun, in my opinion. But man, those guys were so pissed at me because I had a bandolier on. Like, I kind of like it. It's simple, it's easy, and it's easy to hold a lot of rounds on you. But I mean, that's me. I'm no professional shotgunner. I think it was really cheap one. But got hit on the bottom latch and it wasn't holding tight. That's interesting. Like my current belt, I've used for close to 15 years now. It's an Elite Survival Systems belt. It was like $88 when I first got it, and I've never had that happen. But I have had it get like jammed into the engaged mode, uh, and it was like clicked somewhat in, and I ended up I'm trying to see if I have a belt sitting around here, but I don't. And I couldn't get my pants off. I could not get my pants off because this was so tight. And so I had to take a hammer and then smack it. And swinging a hammer around your jumblies is a little bit terrifying. And I ended up like having to push it in so it re-engaged, and then I was able to get it off. But it was jammed, and it was a terrifying moment. But I do love my KSG. I do love my KSG. I won't say it's without issues, but a lot of the hate it gets, I feel like it doesn't deserves. You've seen me, I'm a big guy, and the chest rigs might work better for you that way. Do you think we could see through the analog NVGs in a video? Yes, actually. I've been looking, I've been working on getting cameras to look through a lot of my products. I've been working on an LPVO video, like a budget LPVO video where, oh, Roach, a budget LPVO video where I'm just comparing like 5 or 6 of the LPVOs that I've used, and then a lot of the ones that a lot of people recommended within one of the comment sections on one of my videos, recommending some budget friendly LPVOs, which are going to be about $400 and below. And so I've been trying to get some a scope footage through it all. And I've been buying a bunch of different scope cams or like mounts for it, and they've all been god awful. So if you know of any that go in LPVO, specifically LPVOs, let me know, because I can also use that for for the NVGs. I think one of the current ones I have right now I can use for the NVGs, but we'll see. I got really frustrated going back and forth with the other ones. So right now, because I need to film some stuff for the NVMD, and it's so Jimmy rigged. It's so Jimmy rigged. So yeah, we'll definitely. I've been actually wanting to go through like my actual night vision setup. My very first video ever on YouTube was talking about helmet stuff for night vision, but I want to do my actual night vision setup. It's kind of funny because I've been testing so much stuff lately, like this piece of trash. I don't actually get to use my night vision, like my actual tubes, a lot these days because I'm always testing out other stuff. And so when I do, it's like, wow, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, let me catch up. Most of the time, I use my kit I use on an ATV to get around, so slim belt works wonders. See, and that's a great use case for it. The amount of detail he puts into you guys want to see? You guys want to see? Let's CapCut takes forever to open right now because I'm working off of 3 hard drives. But I'll give you a little bit of a hint into how this works. Okay, let's get caught up while this is loading. Thank you, CapCut. Thank you. Okay. Let me. Okay. What do you think about the chassis systems for pistols? And is there one you recommend? As far as chassis systems for pistols, um, I'm an absolute simp for the Flux Raider. Personally, I think the Flux Raider is the best chassis system. I know there's some other ones. The USW always gets brought up. I'm not sold on it yet, but I'm sure it's great. But I do think some chassis are great. Some of them are kind of gimmicky. I don't like the clamshell ones. I like the Flux Raider because you have the FCU in it and then the slide, and it's not a clamshell system. And I think it's brilliant. Some people say like 9, 8 or 9. The Flux Raider is too much money. So I got cat hair in my eye. They say the Flux Raider is too much money. But the thing is, if I were to go and just it's not a chassis system or anything like that. If I were to go and buy that, like a $900 little subgun chassis that was exactly like the Flux Raider, it just wasn't a chassis. $950 would be awesome. I'd happily pay it. Right now, you can get used Flux chassis for like $250, and you can probably get 320s for really cheap these days too. So you can probably get them for a few $100. I put mine together for around 1,200 in total. I definitely paid a markup, but I didn't care because I wanted it so bad, and I honestly like it. And I honestly like it. Tactical Transgoober is something I got a little off. I got a little off topic. I'm looking at the Unobtainium Gear camera that looks through the your tubes. So I'll probably be getting one of those in about a month or two, just because I'm trying to change up my what kind of footage that I have, just trying to make it a little bit more entertaining. So Flux Raider is what I would recommend. I know a lot of people like the USWs, so that's probably a good one too. Thoughts on the new Scar rifle? I like that you can suppress it. It looks kind of the same. I had a feeling they're going to release a new Scar. It looks so similar that I don't think it's that big of a deal. It seems like they fixed a few things on the internals. It doesn't have the same look as the older ones, which I'll be honest, like the old iconic look is something that I really loved. So time will tell. Time will tell. Primary Arms 6 Go Burr. Yeah, the Primary Arms LPVOs are awesome. That's been one of my favorite to use so far. It was a cheap belt back when I was first getting into kit and tactical stuff. The one that I have now is also better. On a side note, what's your favorite Asian cuisine and why is it crab rangoon? I don't like crab rangoon. I don't like seafood. I'm sorry. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but that's on me. That's on me. Honestly, one of my biggest dreams is getting an E-Cody for RNVGs. I've been actually thinking about that pretty heavily because I've been like I'm kind of to the point where I'm just like I really want to branch out and try something really new. And one of those things is thermal for the night vision because thermal is so powerful. My time with thermal recently has really taught me a few things about if you don't have thermal, you are so behind. You are so behind because it is such a superpower. KSG is good for John Wick LARPing, to be honest. Yeah. I remember seeing it in John Wick. I'm like, I have that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. He recommends the USW with the Glock 37. Some people do. I nothing beats the Flux Raider for me. The chassis systems are so much lighter than like a full-on PDW because someone commented recently on a video and they said, with a backpack that big, like my EDC backpack, why not put like a 300 blackout pistol, like a carbine in there? And my honest answer is like, if I'm backpack carrying something, I don't want my bag to be filled with a rifle. If that's its only job, that's fine. That's great and all. And that has a purpose. But if I'm backpack carrying and I'm just kind of like going through my regular everyday life, like I sometimes do, then I don't want something that fills up my entire backpack and I can't put a laptop in, and it feels large and cumbersome. Once you put a big old rifle in there, especially like anything like a 8.8 inch or something like that, it's full. Like your backpack is full and it's heavy, and the bag looks heavy, and that draws attention. And like, what's in the bag? With like the Flux Raider, it fits into a small laptop size bag, and you don't feel it in your backpack. And it's got a spare mag for it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. Should I get a 3D printer and printing gun parts ethical? I think YouTube has to tell me that is a no. Talk to PSR. He recommends a USW. I don't. I'm sure it's great. I think if you got a USW, it's one of the better ones. I prefer the Flux, but I haven't shot a B&T, but just from what I know, that micro Roni kit for the Glock. I think that's a clamshell design, and that just isn't it for me, because usually you have a little bit of flex. Now, flex in the design, so you might not have like a really solid zero, but something to keep in mind with that is most of the time you're not shooting past 100 yards. So it isn't really that big of a deal if you have a little bit of flex and you've got a little bit of red dot on there. But that was one of the reasons why I kind of strayed away from it. And then the Flux Raider started like, ooh, that makes sense. If you're if you're a fan of my channel, you have to like brass facts, I'm sure. And so, he's the one who got me into it. I remember like watching some stuff one day. I'm like, oh yeah, like that's starting to make a little bit of sense to me. And then I messaged Outlaw and I'm like, I think I'm getting this. And then after like a month or two, I'm like, I'm totally getting it. Appreciate your video, mans. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you, Weevil. I appreciate you. That means a lot. Tonight, or like lately, YouTube is challenging. YouTube is challenging. And so it's nice when someone brings in something positive. And I've been very thankful for everybody for all the support they've given me, especially like to folks that have like stuck around. Because I honestly think the last year I've been in a little bit of a shadow ban. And I don't know, but I've been every now and again, like once every couple of months, I'll have videos start to do okay again, like they did about a year ago. And people will message me and they're like, have you stopped? Did you stop posting content? Because I haven't seen your stuff in a year. I'm like, I have posted every day without fail for almost 3 years now. So I'm like, it's just YouTube not showing you my stuff. So thank you for sharing that. I can't believe you don't like crab rangoon. I'm just not a seafood guy. I'm not a seafood guy. Give me some lo mein and some crispy boogie. Magnificent. Tonight, the React community riot. The Reaver community riot. Okay. I've never tried out the micro Roni. So I mean, if anybody has some good experience with it, I'd love to hear it. But like I said, I was kind of just against the whole clamshell design, but I could be being overly critical about that. If I had one, maybe I'll get one for my Glock 19 because my Glock is in such a piece of shit shape right now. Maybe a little bit of a Roni chassis would be good for it. Imagine all the 45 gap you could fit in a backpack setup. You could probably fit in like 10 rounds of 45 gap. And that's just so much. Just throw a micro Draco in the bag. I actually want one. I want a little crink setup. What's your favorite AK variant? Short barrel 5.56 version. I think it's the 102. Definitely my favorite. I've been really liking the 5.56 AKs recently. I have not got any, but that's definitely a direction where I want to head this year. I decided this year, this tax return, instead of buying guns, I'm upgrading like a lot of my camera setup and my storage setup, because I need more storage. I need to set up a RAID for all my camera footage because I have years and years of footage, and running it off of a hard drive absolutely sucks. So I'm getting an SSD, and then I spent like $600 on a camera gimbal and some equipment. So it'll track me if I'm just using like a tripod setup, and then Quantum can be my camera woman a little bit easier, and then have steady footage because she's always been such a huge supporter of the channel. But upgrading the channel this time, instead of getting a gun for my tax return. So that's definitely my favorite AK variants. I believe that's a 102. Am I remembering that right? AK 102 556. Yeah, like a short barrel, like a 14-inch or something like that. It's awesome. You've redeemed myself. I love me some lo mein. Oh man, my friend calls it Chinese spaghetti, and it's stuck with me forever, and I love that. YouTube is a fuck it. It really is. A lot of people have said go post on like Rumble and things like that, and I've been posting on Rumble for a few weeks now. And I mean, I just don't think that's where the people are. And I think one of the draws of my channel is the fact that like I think my content appeals to new shooters. I think my content can be entertaining for most folks. For like a lot more experienced guys, the stuff that I'm sharing isn't going to be overly groundbreaking. I'm not trying to be a professional and stuff like that. The whole point is to provide like an easy way for folks to ask questions either to me or within like the comment section. Like if I don't know, usually there's guys that are in there that will respond to questions like that. And then so the really experienced guys have a really easy platform to share their information and share their knowledge. And so I'm just trying to make it in there. That's the whole point of my channel. I will eat an unhealthy amount of shrimp in one sitting. See, I can't do seafood, and I know that's unpopular, but I just can't do it. I went crabbing in Washington, and I couldn't eat the fresh crab. I just didn't like it, which everyone said it was delicious, and I'm sure it was, but mm, I got your notifications on, so every day that you post, you come up on YouTube Home, but I search it to make sure I'm all caught up. I do appreciate that because there are folks, and like I don't blame anybody for not having notifications on, but it really means a lot for the folks that have like stuck around for such a long time, either in the Discord or just on YouTube, and the people that just like comment, and even the folks that just like comment on the video because they know it helps the algorithm. Like it means a lot to me because it does help, and the videos go up and down, but in the end I'm just doing it because I have fun doing it for the most part. And talking to everybody has been such a great time. I say this so much, but the people are the best part of YouTube. Best part of YouTube. I sent one of your videos to my friends who's a trans guy, and he said that you are his transition goals. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now I feel handsome. You own shorts. Going to Rumble for longer content isn't a wise call. Yeah. So it's Rumble just rolled out their shorts content, which my dude AZ, who's like another fellow YouTuber, um, definitely check out his channel. He's a great shooter. Really really cool guy. Really cool guy. Um, but they just released their shorts, so we're like, let's see if we can jump on this train early and see if we can do it. And it just isn't there. I mean, every short I do gets like 40, 50 views. I'll continue posting there because it's another platform and it's fine. Sometimes I'll forget to upload in there, but it's there if it ever wants it to. And I've already made the content, so I just double post it. It's far from the end of the world for me. But I do love shorts. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. Like I call myself a YouTuber. I hate the term influencer because I'm like I don't influence shit. But they're like, oh, what do you do mainly? I'm like, I make shorts. I make shorts, which are like the most embarrassing version of a TikTok of all time. But I think that it is the fastest and easiest way to talk about small little bits of knowledge and encourage that conversation. So that's why I love it. That's why I love it. And that's why I've continued to do it. Pagan Min was absolutely right about crab rangoon. It's good. Not for me. I need someone to show me how to cut a poncho into a cape. I will show you right now. I will show you right now. I have this in my 30K Q&A video because that is one of like my most asked questions. My most asked questions. Let me grab. Sorry if I'm a little bit behind. Let me grab a poncho. All right. Here you go. There you go. So you're gonna start off with your poncho. This is like my snow or like kind of cyberpunk kind of build. So like ignore that. But you start off with just your poncho. You got your front and your back. What you're gonna want to do is up on the front. You're gonna want to cut down most of it. Usually, what I do is I cut off half of the front and then I roll up the last little bit like we've got here, and then I take like a cable tie or some Velcro and I wrap it around. That way, if I need to, I can still let it drop, and then it covers the front portion of like my gear and stuff. And it's so very usable because like I want it to be a poncho. The whole reason why I cut up the front of it was just when I would use it in the summertime, and it just felt a little bit cumbersome. I wanted to keep some of the rain off, and that's why I ended up chopping the front down. What you can also do is you can just roll up the front really tight, and then cinch that down with a little bit of Velcro as well if you don't want to cut up the poncho, because getting like a $120 poncho and then taking scissors to it feels a little bit like a sin. But that's what I've done with mine, and I've got a couple different variants. This one goes down a little bit lower. My summer one, which is my tan one, it only comes down to about here, so it kind of just keeps my upper torso dry. Just because in July here, we usually just get these sporadic little bits of rain, and it rains for like 30 minutes, and then it's done. Sorry for that little side tangent, little side quest. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked it. I think Rumble is important, but it's not at the point where people are yet, or really work for short form. I don't think so either. So I don't put that much thought into it. I don't do anything special for it. I just post it there and it's there. If anything, if my channel gets struck down, at least it's somewhere in another spot. How would you feel about a Fluxrator in 10 millimeter? I think that'd be awesome. Any of these like little small little platforms that you could like up from 945 doesn't impress me that much, but like 10 millimeters pretty cool. I would certainly say it's very useful, and for something like that, something that really aids in the idea that you've got like a brace or a stock, and so faster shots with a braced pistol or a stock with 10 millimeter is going to be easier than if you're just doing it like a handgun, because there are some folks that are legitimately better. One of the guys, um, one of the guys who the comp shooter that I shot with, Shillelagh, he most of the time he can shoot better with a pistol at like 40, 50, 60, 70 yards than he can with like a Fluxrator. I still think if he put a little bit more time into it, he could still be better, but just thinking, just thinking. I'm like, Herpes, mildly annoying, and you've got me forever. Hell yeah. I second the poncho comment. I usually just wear mine down. Being able to flip it over the shoulder is something that I struggle with. So if you want to flip it over your shoulder, what I did for a black variant I have, just because I wanted to keep it like completely unaltered, you can take the bottom. My cats are freaking out. You can take the bottom of it and attach some Velcro, and then you can reach back and then pull it in, because there's a Velcro on the back of the Hazard 4 poncho, and you pull it back and then you attach the Velcro to the back. That way, if you're running like a chest rig or your body armor and you need access to all that, it's out of the way and you don't constantly have to fight it being blown over in front of you. So just a little bit of a mod with Velcro is going to be super, super, super helpful. Coom poncho, you're not actually you're the first person, you're not the first person to say that. So kind of funny that you say that. Thanks, man. Gonna try it on a cheaper Helicon text poncho for sure, for sure. If you want to, if you need like pictures or something like that, shoot me a DM on Instagram, and I'd love to chat with you about it. And we can figure it out. What's your favorite Glock model? Oh man, I'm such a I don't care for Glocks. But I mean, I have Glock 19. The Gen 5 19s have been great. The Gen 5 17s, I think it was the 17s. Gen 5s are fine. But that's kind of it. I really don't care too much for Glocks. They're great pistols, but none of them actively excite me. None of them actively excite me. Bro, are you gonna respond to my Mark 47 content? Did I miss it? Did I miss it? I must have missed it. Mark 47. Because that's like the mutant, right? It takes AK mags. It's cool. I'm not sure that I'm sold on it yet. I'm not in love with it yet, but I'm welcome to have my mind changed. I can't see it. It probably got auto censored. There was one that said it got. There was a comment from you that said it got like redacted. So I must have missed it. Gilead shotgun setup is my new product that will never be finished because I got distracted with a new product 30 minutes after starting. Oh man, that truly is the bane of our existence sometimes, though, right? Yeah, we get distracted from one project into another. Usually what I do is like I get sucked into a product for like 2 or 3 months and it just becomes my existence. For a while, like when I first accidentally got the caramel, it was all about the caramel. I was just getting sucked into it and I wanted to remake it into its into its former greatness, which when the caramel first got announced, I loved the front handguard. And then their new handguard that actually came out for it is so stupid. So this thing. So I'm super excited about the original handguard, and there's a company called Athos Arms that is doing like a one-time run of the original handguard. So I ordered one back in December. I'm just waiting for it to get printed and bring and get shipped because I'm so excited about that. I had the idea of attaching a Cobra buckle to the bottom of each side in the front, and then up onto the shoulder so I can hook it up and place the poncho, but I haven't come up with solid ideas yet. The thing with that I would worry about for that poncho is I think the weight of the buckles would pull it up, which is why I think the Velcro might be the easier way to do that, but there might be a way. There might be a way. You guys want it? Let's. What is what are these little dots? What do these mean? I don't know. Okay. We're gonna go to window. We're gonna go here. Also share my system audio. Yes. Share. Boom. Here it is. Here's my my editing software, people. CapCut. Everybody makes fun of it, and it's probably going to get banned eventually. But this is going back to the idea of just like how long it takes for me to edit these things. Because right now you see like everything's like pretty heavily like condensed, but I make everything into a compound clip. So undo compound. So like most every clip is like 4 or 5 tracks deep. Yo, the music is working now. I thought so. So that's kind of like how like this whole editing it's very deep and very involved. Because I try not to keep just like a only talking head portion. I try to only have talking head for in long format for 15 seconds max. And then I just try to add in the relevant. So it's just like it becomes so cumbersome. Control Z. But that's kind of how it all works. With shorts, it's even more heavily edited, depending on the short. And so it's like 5 or 6 tracks deep every single time, with like a cut every time I say but or something like that. And it's just it just becomes so crazy. We can finally hear the music. Hell yeah. I'm wondering what's gonna happen when I go back to the regular view. But yeah. Currently, what I'm working on is a video for the NVMe, which is that night vision, like night vision magnifier. It's pretty cool, and I don't think in all of its configurations it's good. I still need a sniff face emote. I think as a flip to side night vision scope, it's great. I don't like it very much as a magnifier because it makes your dot kind of unclear. And then as a clip-on, it's kind of okay, but it does all these things, but it doesn't do all of them really, really well. Its night vision is pretty decent. I will say that. It's going to be the best one ever. But we'll see. After watching your hunk loadout, I started carrying road flares, and they are so easy to make survival fires. Funny you say that, folks. Because let's pull it up here. If I ever show you guys footage that has guns, YouTube's like, they're really the only way you can pull it off is if you're in here. Oh shit, I'm in the wrong thing. Let me open up a different. Because my most recent shoot, the music is a bit loud. It's a bit heavy. Thank you. that a little bit better? Is that a little bit better? Is that better? I feel like that isn't better. It's so imprecise. Yes. No. Yeah. What was it? Yeah. Okay. Have you guys seen this shit? Look. Why is my volume slider so tiny? Okay. That should be a little bit better. Is that better? Okay. So concept of road flares. This is where this tangent was going on to. Quantum and I just worked on some of the intro for the NVMD video, and I wanted to work with road flares for so long. The high notes are drowning you out. I'm just gonna mute it because it's way more of a hassle than it works. And then when I set up OBS, I'll get it to like, boom, bring it down a little bit more. But let's see. We wanted to do road flares for the first time, so we didn't know how easy it would be to actually do it. Let's do 9x16 original. So this time we actually brought out
rolling.
We actually brought out the road flares. Fucking CapCut. So
focused.
I nearly started my nearly started my hand on fire. I was originally wearing a poncho. That was probably really loud for you guys. Sorry. And I nearly started the poncho on fire. You can just call me Alex or Eve. Okay. Anyway, so we actually got to use the road flares. It was actually like a lot of fun, and I'm excited for I'm excited for how it turns out. It was super windy and like brutal cold. But here's like a real intro.
I go. This is just for like the B-roll.
Welcome to the behind the scenes process.
Okay, now we're gonna do it.
We're trying to make the vision come true. And it just boom blows out the camera.
Cool.
And it looks like I'm wearing a white shirt, but that was kind of funny. But cool stuff. Here's my poncho that I almost started on fire with this thing because
back to center, do a low sweep.
But yeah, road flares, a lot of fun. Just don't start yourself on fire with them. And then they say don't drop them, just place them onto the ground, because if you, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drop it, and I just dropped it, and the whole top half like exploded into a shower of sparks. We did it right after a heavy rain, so everything was really wet. It was the only time we felt comfortable doing it because we are in a little bit of a desert, and that was kind of fun. But it was just like, oh geez, I'm like, ugh. And we cut the camera, and then we ran, and we were just stomping out a bunch of stuff. Eve, thanks for being here. Good to have you. How's the For Winona graphic coming along? Oh, man, it's actually something that I haven't worked on for a while, which I kind of wish I did, because I finished school and I kind of wanted to do nothing, and so I played a decent amount. Like the first week when I got out of school, I did nothing but video games, and it was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I played 15 hours a day of DayZ with a couple friends, and that was absolutely what I wanted to do with my life. And then I kind of just got like sucked into YouTube, and then like a lot of the art stuff that I've been working on has been like for the merch for that we've been releasing. So I haven't drawn anything for it, but I really need to. They make chem lights that are the same size for dark environments, and that's definitely ones that we want to. I want to do a little bit with as well, because chem lights are really fun. Originally, like that was like my original idea for like my night vision shooting. I was gonna have chem lights, and it just was not enough. It was not enough light for the Psyonix Aurora to actually see anything. You guys want to? So let's see if we can find the old footage. early. Yeah. So this is the very first time using the Psyonix Aurora. And it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. I'm trying to find the ones where I get the glow sticks. I was trying to figure out some stuff to like how the camera is going to pick up light. And like, this is so grainy. It was like 720p. You can see my phone going through my pocket as its little sensor was going off. So something to keep in mind. But yeah, it was just like the footage was just so terrible. But whereas I pulled out a bunch of glow sticks thinking the ambient light was going to be enough, and it was not. So then I ended up getting if you film on a full moon, like a super moon, your footage turns out like this, which is pretty good. But still, it's kind of lacking. So now we do it with a couple of these light bars, and that just helps the camera so much, especially when we're not on a full moon. Yeah. Welcome to being your own cameraman right here. Like, this shit's so annoying. You don't realize how hard it is to like film and shoot and do all this shit. Anyway, there's my little night vision camera rant. Let me get back to the comment section. DayZ, yeah, it's so good. My biggest problem with DayZ these days is every time we've done a long playthrough, we run into just like blatant hackers, and it sucks. Can't wait for the sweet merch. I'm gonna buy it all. The problem that I've been having with the merch, and I can grab some if y'all want to see it, but the first company that I went through, their colors were inconsistent. So like the back logos, like the Canis logo that I have, one was like pinkish, one was red, and then the other one was right. It was like that deep maroon, which is how it's supposed to be. Like, it's almost like a blood red. And I ordered another chunk from them, waited another 2 weeks, and once again, all the colors came out inconsistent. Like, all the red was inconsistent across it, and some of it was looking a little bit pink. So I wasn't liking that. I was getting kind of frustrated with it. So I ended up going to another company, and then I was talking to Copper Top, and I was Copper Top Tactical. I'm sure you, plenty of you are familiar with his channel. If not, give him a follow. But I was talking to him because he'd been releasing his merch, and I said, what have you been using, and like, how has your experience been? And then he was using Printify, which does have a lot more options, which I am excited about. But it a couple of things that I picked I wasn't pleased with, because there's like 100 different hoodie variants you can pick. And so I'm trying to pick ones that are like nice, but also cost effective, because I don't want a base hoodie to be $40 for just the hoodie alone, not with like processing and graphics. And it's like, I don't want someone to buy a $65 hoodie. That just seems like I'm trying to grift them. So, so now I've got another order coming in, trying to get some stuff. And then the logos were too small. So it's been something I've been battling with recently, because I don't want to release shit. And so now it's like, I order it, I have to wait for it to get made, and it's shipped out to me. Cause I mean, it's just a hassle. It's just a hassle. I'm excited for it, but it's trial and error, and it's a lot of money wasted on stuff that I'm never going to use. Which reminds me, I want to do another run of patches. And patches usually cost me about $1,000 to make. And so like, I'm wondering what folks are going to be interested in. I still have like 25 to 30 for Winona patches, the original ones we made, but I've also got, I want to do the Canis logo, which is, this logo. See, this hoodie turned out perfectly, but it's the only one that did. I want to make this into a patch, but I don't know the patch shape. So if you guys want to see this in a patch, let me know, because I've been kind of digging it, and I wouldn't mind making it into a patch here eventually. Never got to play during the good PvP times for DayZ. I mean, there's still plenty of the DayZ community is alive and well. The DayZ community is alive and well. DayZ was really fun, but I was so bad at it. You got to learn how to do the jank. That is for sure something you have to learn how to do. But it offers an experience unlike anything else. I love extraction shooters. I love stakes to the game. I don't want to respawn. I like there to be a reason to fight to keep your teammates alive. I love that. I love that. Like those types of fights, those long drawn out fights that take like 4 or 5 hours. It's not a gunfight. It's more of like picking up on clues, trying to see if someone's still there, and then landing like a precise shot. I think that stuff is so fun because it like no other game has it. No other game has it. I remember on DayZ, we were raiding a base. And this guy had like 4 or 5 alt accounts. So he'd just respawn in somewhere else. And we were in this top tower by Cherno, outside of his base on like this concrete factory, and we'd wait for his alts to come in, and then he'd start like shooting at us, and then we'd respond to it. And I called into work that day because we started like 8, and that fight went from like we went down there around 9:30 or so, and then that fight went till like 2 or 3 a.m. And that was like one of the best nights on DayZ I've ever had with my friends. It was so much fun. Just something that it just can't be recreated anywhere else. And they are probably filled to the brim with hackers. Some of them are. The official servers, you can't trust them. You can't trust them. Those are the ones that I usually play on for like my vanilla experience, and they suck. The community servers, and you have to look it up because there are some that are like very, very heavily protected. Those are the ones that you want to play on. Guys like Saramore and Smoke and a couple other folks, they play on some community servers, and like those are the ones where you're not going to have the hackers. My big problem is, and this is going to make me sound like a boomer, is I can't play first person in DayZ. It makes me nauseous. Something about it just makes me nauseous. I've played first person shooters for my entire life, ever since Halo 1 came out, and my hands couldn't hold the controller. So like it ain't that, but something about DayZ makes me nauseous. I really like the oval shape for the 4 Winona patches. Think the oval would be good for this logo as well. I've got hexagonal designs, which I think might be okay, but oval might be good too. It's just a nice classic look. I really need to get some samples made and try, but like I said, with all these, because they're like not like printed, they're PVC. It's so expensive. Like I said, it was like $1,000 to get my original chunk made, and I still have not made my money back. Look for NWAF, Northwest Airfield PvP servers. Those are the best. Okay. My friends and I, we like PvP. We don't want only PvP. We've been on some PvP servers that are just like, it's all about fighting. And it isn't the play style that we like, because we want it to be kind of organic. But it is fun nonetheless, especially just to kind of like learn the mechanics of the game. I fully agree with that about DayZ. I've never had friends to play with. Ooh, playing DayZ solo is a horror game. I did go a lot of running, but I knew where to go. But I never knew where to go, and then collect lots of stuff and just explore. One of the things about these games is like learning what's useful and what's not. That's absolutely something you got to learn. But my friends and I, like, we've got a pretty good path in order to get like geared up fairly quickly, starting at Cherno, going all the way to the west, going all the way to the west, going up to some hunting lodges, and then going into Starry. And that usually is a pretty good, and that's like a weekend's worth of play for us. Pretty good stuff. I ain't got friends to play the Big Z with either. I don't play the game alone. DayZ is not fun alone. DayZ is fun to do with friends. It's fun to do with friends. What's the Rumble channel? Reaver Approach. Same name. I think it's Reaver_Approach. Same thing. But their search feature sucks. I was trying to find my own channel on Rumble, and I couldn't find it. I in order for someone to follow it, I had to send them a link to a video. So Rumble kind of sucks at the moment, and I think it's a little bit of an echo chamber. But you know, if I ever, not if ever, when I FRT the vector, I'm gonna have to post the content there, because YouTube can retroactively like smack you on the wrist for that and then strike down your channel for stuff that was okay originally. But if in 6 months they decide no more FRT content, then they can hit me for all my previous videos. It's really dumb. way better with a squad. Remember, it's a mod for Arma, like a game like Engine. Okay. Can you drop it in the chat? Sure. Oh, Rumble, baby. There you go. There you go. There's the old Rumble. But like I said, I couldn't even find my own channel. So the search feature kind of sucks. So I'm not like, unless I post a link somewhere, I don't think people can find it. And it might just be because my channel is so small. It's got like 3 subs to it right now. So that could just be it. Maybe if it's larger, it'll pop up more. Because now if you search me on YouTube, like it'll bring up my profile and stuff. For me, that was PUBG. I used to run solo scavenger, run upgrade most of the time when I play with my friends, and I got slowed down because they want to reconfigure their loot, and that's definitely something you gotta run into. And like there's no HUD or anything for it too. So yeah, cute cat. There's no HUD or anything for it, so you really got to. You really. I'm sorry, I have another cat meowing. I'm trying to decide if he needs something or not. It's 5 o'clock, so he's hungry for his soft food. But picking your times, like, okay, we're all gonna chill here for a minute. Like, take 10 minutes, either log out and go to the bathroom, reconfigure your gear. In 10 minutes, we're on the move again. And then just being like very clear with like that kind of communication and stuff, and it makes it a little bit easier. Some folks like to stream their screens to their teammates so they can see. I mean, that's up to you, but I know that seems like is that you? Is that you? Okay, I'm just checking some messages. So strange. Yeah, I'm guessing it's just because the channel is so small. They're not like recommending much to it. So, but I don't know, because I was looking for Copper Top as well, because both of us are me, him, and then my dude AZ were like, let's give this whole YouTube thing or Rumble thing a go, because they are rolling out their shorts content. That was like brand new a couple weeks ago. So that's kind of what we're working on. Reaver, have you played Tarkov? Oh yeah, that's why I built that AK, is just because I love Tarkov so much. My buddy and I, we loved it. Absolutely loved it. I stopped playing Tarkov in 2023 when I went back to school, when I went to finish my degree, because playing Tarkov and trying to keep up with the power curve and like going to school full time, working full time, it just wasn't possible. So I said, I'm not playing this anymore. And then recently we've been trying out a game called Arena Breakout Infinite, which is a port from a mobile game, but it's for PC now. And it's kind of like a less hardcore Tarkov. And it's been pretty fun. And we jump on that quite a bit. And it's a little bit easier for some folks that just don't like the full Tarkov experience, but they want some form of extraction shooter. But there's no wipes in that game. So some people just have unlimited money and ammo and stuff like that. And so, and it's broken up into like normal, forbidden zone, which is like medium, and then hard, which is or normal, lockdown, and then forbidden. And forbidden is where like all the crazy guys are. And if you don't have like a shit ton of money under your belt, going in and fighting in that is just a terrible experience, because you're going to get one shot by everything. Because their ammo is just going to go through, because they'll be shooting like full autoing rounds that are like 30,000, which is a lot, $30,000 a round, which normally for like good ammo is like 1,000 to 1,500 per round. And so it's really hard to keep up. So there's no wipes, which appeals to some people, but it's hard for others. But as far as Tarkov goes, love it, because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know if it's going to be a squad. There's no downs or anything like that. Love Tarkov. I'm gonna get back into it eventually, but it'll be at a very specific time. All right, dude, got to roll. Have a good stream. Always good to chat. Diablos, thanks for being here. Thank you. I wish I got into Tarkov back in the day. I mean, still plenty of time to get into it. Still plenty of time to get into it. Hey, Kitty, you're blocking the chat. I can't see. I have a bed behind my monitor that she loves to sleep in. I heard about the arena game. It's pretty good. It is pretty good, and it's a lot more forgiving. There are some quality of life features in it that we really like, but it's still kind of new. They're only on like their 4th season, so they're getting there. They're getting there. I want to get into Tarkov, but I've got mad solo trauma from DayZ. I feel like Tarkov is easier to play solo than DayZ because in DayZ, you need to kind of be like on your guard at all times, right? Walking into cities or something like that, you never get a break. And so you're always kind of on high alerts, I guess, or you should be, because someone can just walk up on you anytime. Tarkov, it's a little bit easier because sometimes being a solo is to your advantage, because if you're playing like a team of 3, movement is going to be your best thing, because most of the time, because there's no like player tags or anything like that, a team of 3 is going to be less likely to move around a lot because they don't want to accidentally team kill and get confused with each other. So they usually stay pretty close. For a solo, you don't have to worry about that. Everything is a threat to you. So you run, land some shots, they communicate the new person, and then you move again. And that's how you want to do it. And then you only have to be on alert for like 45 minutes. Then you're back in your stash, do a little bit of refresh, have a 5-minute load-in time, and then it's a little bit easier. That's the way I view it. I don't know if that's the right way to view it, but that's kind of how I see it. But I think duos Tarkov is ideal Tarkov, playing with a single duo. Once you have 3 people, it starts to get a little bit harder because you're trying to communicate with a couple people, and you can team kill in there, and you got to be talking to everybody. I know I'm way behind the learning curve though. Yeah, my first wipe, I went up and we did it all wrong, and we're like, oh, we shouldn't do quests because everyone's going to be so far ahead of us. So we just went to customs and then sat behind gas stations with Mosins and tried to shoot people. And very rarely did we ever get a kill. And then the next wipe came around, and we're like, we're questing, like we are going to get flea, and that's what we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, but watch some videos. Honestly, play with a friend, like get a duo and do it if you can, because that's the way to do it. And it's so much more fun learning a game together. Nice observation. Maybe. 60 lights on the front of the gun. Yes, I have gone in, back when I was like a little bit saucier in Tarkov, we'd go to factory. There's like a Remington 870 build that had a really shitty thermal built into the hand grip. And so I'd either run flechettes or 50 BMG shells, and I would put a bunch of flashlights on the front of it, hold a hallway when you need like a quest for like 5 operator kills or 5 PMC kills. And then boom, make a sun god. I couldn't see anything either. It's just like a whole on white screen because it's so bright. And then no one could see anything except for me, because I had the shitty little thermal on in like the stock of this shotgun, this like Ultima build or something like that. And it was relatively cheap to do. And so I would like kind of peek a corner and then hold somewhere. I'd see like a little bit of movement, and then I'd send a shell right into their chest. And you could usually one hit their chest depending on their armor with a 50 BMG stuff. And it was so much fun. My buddies and I, we had a great time. We had a great time. And that was the way we did it. We needed to get our PMC kills or like pistol kills or something like that, because some of the missions you had to be a little bit saucy because you got stuck behind something, and I got to kill 8 operators before before the next quest unlocks, and that isn't easy sometimes, especially in Tarkov. I know gunfights are a little bit easier now because like recoil management is a lot easier with like an update that rolled out in like 2023, 2024. But I'd have to give it a go. I love the gunsmithing and weapon modification. It is very in depth. And that's, I didn't care for AKs. I had no inkling of a longing for an AK. And then I played Tarkov, and then like after a season or two, I'm like, AKs are kind of cool. Like I like these like AK Alpha builds is kind of what they were affectionately referred to as, and that's when I got to like Zenit Co and stuff like that. Like, I mean, this is just like a shitty little American made AK, but the Zenit Co on it is worth more than the AK. You know, go figure, I guess. Go figure. Oh. All right. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. Oh, here's an update for everyone. My most recent shoots, the button for the Spec Precision Mall popped off. What a shame. What a shame. So it seems like I think PSR did a review like a month or two ago about it. And he had a button pop off as well. So I'm thinking it's a pretty they don't glue their buttons on really good. I didn't know until I got back that the button was gone. So I'll go back to my shooting spot and see if it's there. Otherwise, I'm going to take a little bit of tape and then put it over the button slope because the whole thing works fine. It's just a rubber of the button. So I haven't used it load since I last did my review. I think it's got like maybe another 1,500 rounds through it since I did that review. But there you go. There's a little update. I need to put a pinned comment into that video now because it seems like the buttons popping off is a widespread issue. Maybe I'll reach out to my rep at Spec Precision. His name's YOLO, and see if he's going to fix it. But currently, we've got a Spec Precision purse, which they didn't send to me or anything like that. But one of my mods in my Discord and I were just kind of curious about it. I haven't shot mine very much, but I think he's got like close to 1,000 rounds through it. And it hasn't fallen apart, which is a good sign. But we'll see. My first airsoft gun was an AKM, and I'm in love with the Kalashnikov rifle series. They're cool. They're cool. I think our first airsoft gun definitely influences most folks on what guns they like. My first airsoft gun was an MP5K. My parents got everybody an airsoft gun for Christmas, and it was one of the most legendary Christmases. Like, we all opened one, and it's like, oh my gosh. It had a sight, it had like a blue light on the side. So cool. So cool. But they didn't last very long. But then my next one, and this is one that I went to like all the airsoft fights with, was a FAMAS. And I got a scope, and then I put tape and then a command strip. And that's what held the scope on. And it wasn't like dialed in, but it would hit low left on the scope every single time. And that thing was a tack driver. Like it was accurate. It was nice to like use a scope and it would hit, you know, it could be repeatable. And I think that's where my bullpup obsession began, was with that airsoft gun. Yeah, those guys at Spec Precision are pretty cool. Here's my thing. I've had no problem with like knockoffs and repros and stuff like that. As long as it is known that it is a repro or a knockoff. With like the malls and stuff like that, it doesn't come with any paperwork, and it's just like, it's okay. Did the MP5 had a fake suppressor and a UMP style buttstock? I had one of those. It did. The suppressor, the rounds would always get stuck off, so we always pull them off. So we probably have the same one. But Spec Precision reached out to me and they like, do you want to do a review on one of our pistol optics? And they have an RMR HD. And they sent it out. And if I was going to like, if I was a bad person, I could take that and I could sell that on like the local market because there's serial numbers and stuff like that. I even looked up because it looked legitimate. It looks like the box, it came with stickers, it came with paperwork, it came with everything. All the other Spec Precision stuff that I've got, no paperwork, no serial numbers, no nothing. But this one does. It has paperwork with serial numbers and it has serial numbers on the optic. And like, this is weird. And like, is it possible that this is just like a real one? And they're trying to like send me out a real one for like a positive review. The only thing that gave it away was the box wasn't one. And then there was on the back, because all the stuff was like 3M and name brand sticker stuff. But on the back of one of like the licensing things, it was like a Chinese sticker. I'm like, they would never do this, because I looked up the serial number online. On on Trigicon's website, and they said this is likely a real optic. I'm like, what? What? And so I pulled up because I just barely bought a regular RMR, and I opened it up and I was like comparing everything to it. And there's like one thing that was out of place and the box was slightly different. So I'm gonna slam it pretty hard because repros should be easily distinguishable from the real deal. Or else there's going to be people that get ripped off or companies that try to rip people off and they just don't know. So at this point in time, like the used market's kind of wild because like I can't tell. And you can't look up the serial number online anymore because apparently that looks real too. Even Trigicon doesn't know the difference. So only buy from like a real dealer. Don't buy used right now. Maybe don't buy used because I think there's going to be a lot of people who buy these. They're just scumbags. And then they try to buy it sell it on the used market, and they buy it for $150. They sell it for $400 when it's a $600 optic. Someone thinks they're getting a great deal, but they're getting a fucking knockoff. So that I'm not happy about that, but that's going straight into my review. And I'm like, I'll talk about this, but like this needs to change. Bullpups are neat as hell. I love to see a Groza or a Maliak. I'm not familiar with that one. Oh, the Bullpup AK that the Ukrainian has been using for CQB. I've been curious about those as well because they are very interesting looking. Some guy was in my comments saying like he just wanted one because he thought they were cool. And then someone came in there and it's like, they're such a piece of shit. They're such a piece of garbage. And guys like, I just want it because it's cool. Like that's like, this isn't my go-to-war rifle. And I think sometimes gun people can get a little bit wrapped around the axle about that. I have no idea where my gun taste went. My dream rifle was the Magpul Masada, the ACR button 7.62x51. Ooh, sexy. That might, I mean, the ACR Masada kind of vibes, that might have just been from Modern Warfare. We all got a little bit of that bug, I think. Which is kind of why this is the IWI Carmel is ACR we have at home, especially in this current configuration. Can I show you how beautiful it used to be? IWI Carmel. I want the original oh my God, look at what they took from us. Window. Entire screen, boom. Look what they took from us. See this handguard? Oh, exquisite. Exquisite. Just something about this curve that excites me. The stock's a little bit different now too, but this was a way better. ACR knockoff. I'm assuming so. This is IWI, so the same ones that make the Tavor, and things like that. So I think it's their version of it because I think they're trying to replace their bullpups. Awesome. Like I have loved my Carmel, but like here it is. So this is the original one. This is what we got. See this fucking handguard? Trash. Truly not fun. But this thing is great. But don't worry. Look, check this shit out. Athos. Boom. See this? Athos arms. I've been waiting for this forever. And this guy, and I've already ordered this, but he makes the original handguards. He did a run for the original handguard. So I've ordered one. We're going to do it. I need to SBR the Carmel. 16-inch is just a little bit much for me. And I want it a little bit more handy, especially when you get a suppressor on there. But that is going to bring us to this. We need to chop the barrel just a smidgen, I think, because I think this is like a 14-inch barrel. But we're going to do it. 16-inch Vepr in a 7.62x54. Oh, goddamn. But yeah, so that's like a gun that I actively lusted for. Here we go. Perfect comparison. This gun I actively lusted for, and then I bought a suppressor one day. I was at a gun store. I was with Outlaw, funny enough. Bought the suppressor. We went to another gun store just to look around. I spent $1,200 on the suppressor. The Carmel, he's like, oh, look at this. And it was 40% off. And it came with it had a a Vortex, Vortex Gen 2 something on it, like a $500 LPBO. And I'm like, oh shit, the gun was 40% off. I just spent $1,200 on a suppressor, not being financial. And I said, the gun was 40% off. And I said, if it comes with the optic, I'll buy it outright. He's like, okay. And we go in. And I asked the guys at the gun counter, I'm like, this is 40% off, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, does it come with the optic on it? And then the guy's like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, I wish you didn't say that. And then I ended up buying it. But I have liked it. It's been an incredible suppressor host. It's been a good test gun. But the way I have it set up, it's always so heavy. It's always got like test shit on it. So it's just ridiculously heavy. I was born in the wrong country for buying guns. Well, I get that. IW makes some pretty weird, but also nice firearms. Yeah, they've got like their Negev, I think is like their LMG. I think they've got some form of just like AR-15, which is kind of just whatever. But the Tavor, I think, is one of the best bullpups, probably top five, as far as just like overall. And I have liked it. And it was my first rifle, and I've got a couple other bullpups since then, but it has been an amazing platform. But suppressed, it doesn't like green tip. But, you know, we can't have everything, I guess. We can't have everything. But that's what they took from us. That is what they took from us. And that broke my heart. Boom. Have you ever thought of doing a black powder red earth kit? Yes, actually. I have black powder red earth shit, the Jericho. Yeah. Black powder red earth. There's like a slight inspiration there for my channel. Originally it was Killzone that like inspired like the red for my channel, because I just loved it. I thought it was really, really cool. But I wanted to do a black powder red earth kit. I just don't know exactly what I want to do for it. It wouldn't be particularly difficult. I've just been deciding like what kind of rifle setup to do for it. Because there are Flux Raiders and stuff in it. They have a couple of it in a few of the in a few of the graphic novels, but I'll probably do like an M4 of some kind or an AR of some kind. But absolutely something I want to do, and I can do it pretty easily. I just need to get a lot of their plate carriers are using the Cry JPC 2.0. I just need to snag one of those. Which I probably will here in a little bit. But I love my plate carrier so much that I usually don't want to wear anything else because I love that plate carrier. People give me shit for it, but it's incredible. And like, it's an Airsoft. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's Husar, bro. It's a beautiful Polish company. But Acelink Armor picked it up a couple years ago. Man, I miss Killzone. I would love a remake. Killzone like heavily influenced me, and I only played it at my friend's house because I didn't have a PlayStation 3 growing up. I got into it when like 2 or 3 came out. I forget when. But I would go over and play it at his house, and I thought it was so cool because I had an Xbox. I had a PS2, and I played a lot of Star Wars Battlefront on it, and that was such a blast. But oh yeah, here's when we first like the first shots of the caramel. Yeah. Oh man, it looks so different now ever since I painted it. What is this? There's little lights. There's little light. I need to learn with this YouTube streaming thing out, the information it gives. Did you ever get into the old SOCOM games on PS2? No. I played a lot of Ghost Recon on them, but I saw the SOCOM games, but I could never afford them at the time. My parents also didn't let us buy video games, so we'd only get like one video game a year, and that's what we would play forever. Like my first video game that I got for the PS2 was Splinter Cell, which probably created a little bit of a night vision obsession that I have in my life. But I always saw them in the game section of a store that I went to a lot, and it looked so cool. I have seen a bunch of advertisements for the SOCOM games that have just like come up as like retro games on social medias, and they looked awesome. I need a 4570 revolver to be a true NCR Ranger. That'd be hot. That'd be hot. 4570 revolver is immaculate. I love the Rangers. Ghost Recon Wildlands with the M40 started my passion for long range shooting. Whew, man, Ghost Recon Wildlands. That was a game. That was a game for like gun people. The gunsmithing in it was pretty cool. There was a bunch of stuff you could do. There was a lot of guns in it. You could go and find whatever you wanted to. And like make your kit, especially when it got to like year 2 of the game. There was so much customization for Ghost Recon. I loved it. I loved it. I played through the campaign with so many different groups of friends, and I loved it every single time. When Breakpoint came out, I liked some of the stuff they added, but I disliked a lot of the stuff that came out, especially when there was some bullet spongy enemies. I was okay with the robots to an extent, but in the demo, they had like gear scores on them, so you had to like wear gear that matched your level, kind of like a Destiny thing. I'm like, I just want to wear like the plate carrier. I want to cosplay as myself in the video game. Fallout NV modding community is still alive and well, thank God. The Fallout community, I never got too heavily into Fallout, but my friends did. Fallout 4 was pretty big when I was in, I believe, high school. There it is, dating me. But the modding community in some of these games is so cool. Such a good advertisement for Wildlands. I'm gonna go buy it now. So effing good. It was just so good. And like playing with a couple friends. I love to be like I would make it into a Splinter Cell game. I would infiltrate. I had a friend that just loved, like, he was big into the long range sniping. That was his shtick. So we'd do our missions, and then he'd be up on like a mountainside or something. We'd scout it out. I'm like, okay, let's get you to this place. Sometimes we'd have to get him on like a crazy roof, and so we'd ditch like a plane or a chopper and parachute onto the roof, get him set up, and then I would infiltrate, and then I would usually take out the people with like CQC and stuff like that to make sure we didn't raise any alarms. But he would snipe the people that I couldn't get, or if I got spotted, he was just so awesome. And sometimes it just felt like a movie because I'd come around a corner and then I would see like a body fall in front of me. I'm like, he's just like, and he would say, "Got that one for you." Like, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Such a great time. Such a great time. The survival mechanics in Breakpoint though were really cool. That was rad. I liked treating injuries and stuff like that instead of just healing naturally. So the survival mechanics for Breakpoint I did really enjoy, along with having to manage the environment. If you got knocked over and you were like sliding down a hill, your character would just continue rolling down a hill. This is really steep hill, so it's like a lone survival wow, that was embarrassing. I ate lone survivor LARP. So cool. So cool. Bro, for real, we did the same thing with ditching helos in the Wildlands to get rooftops. So fun. So fun. I think that's one of the best Ghost Recon games to date. I don't think it's better than Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I think the game itself was better just because like I like the open world, but Ghost Recon Future Soldier had my favorite aesthetic. When the Ghost Recon Future Soldier skin came out for Wildlands, man, I was in it. I had that shit purchased. I had it. I wanted it. I got it. I had to have it. Because I thought that was so cool with the little glasses, with the light. I started my Ghost Recon Future Soldier build forever ago, like a year and a half ago. It was like the first video game loadout that I wanted to do, but I ran into issues getting like the plate carrier to work, and I kind of lost a little bit of passion. I was also in school, so I didn't have loads of time to do it. But I did really like it, and like I made like the face mask and everything. I'm gonna make Ghost Recon Future Soldier masks that I like, because I like hand paint my masks, but I'm going to release them on my store. That way, whatever. Yeah, I'll see. Here we go. Oh man, ooh, here we go. Full screen. This, oof, so cool. So cool. This loadout was perfect. This is what I'm been trying to like build and recreate. The issue that I've had is The mag carriers on the side are actually really hard to do with most setups because it's heavy. And then getting them to sit like that without sagging on the cummerbund, having a cummerbund thick enough to do it has been really, really challenging. Where is the stealth cloak? Listen, this might be unpopular. I did not like the cloak. Once the cloak came into the game, I didn't like it. In Ghost Recon Wildlands, you had to like wear the backpack or something like that and it would give it to you, or they just added it to this skin in particular. Miss me with that. Don't want it. Don't want it. I want to look and see how cool my character is at all times. I don't want to go invisible. If I do go invisible, I want to like see something that I activated. But this is it. This is peak loadout. It doesn't get better than this. There's a little bit of style to it. There's just the rolled up sleeves, just the cry with these kind of like a washed out AOR1. This is why I got the AOR1 pants, by the way, because of this. The little like arm sleeve thing, the mask. Put the ghost in Ghost Warrior. So good. So good. I played the fuck out of Wildlands. I wish I had native first person. I love third person games. I prefer third person games for stuff like that. So I really liked it, especially when you can so heavily mod your character. I want to see him. I want to see the character that I made. I want to see the character I spent a lot of money on. I want to see that. I am the fucker that keeps doing like the microtransactions that like tells Ubisoft that we should keep doing that. I'm aware of my mistake. I will keep doing it. I will keep doing it. But like the mask and everything, so cool. There's like an all black kit. I have all the rails and everything for my Team Wendy helmet in tan, and then a second set of Peltors in tan that I've like cannibalized and to put on this helmet for this build. And I haven't done it yet because I haven't found a plate carrier that I've liked. I've tried a couple like knockoff ones that had like thick cummerbunds, but that just wasn't right. And then this is such a big plate carrier that I tried. This is why I originally bought the 511 TacTech plate carrier, because it's big. It is a big plate carrier. And then for this portion, I put on a Ethereum Dark Vaults or Cell Vaults. Yeah, Dark Vaults. And that kind of gets that. And I have a couple pockets here and a little camera right here. So like I've almost got it, but like these little side magazines just have not come together for me. They have not come together for me. Sometimes in Wildlands, I'll sit on a hillside in a sniper, and then the enemies and just snipe the enemies as they drive by. The sniping in that game was very, very satisfying. I didn't like the HTI sniper rifle that you could like one shot helicopters. I thought that was OP. So we wouldn't use those. And like if you shoot the pilot, cool, I'm all for that. But being able to like one shot a regular chopper, dumb. It kind of pulled out some of the fun for me. Oh, have I missed anything? If I've missed something, please let me know. My mouse is on the other screen. So this is one that I think this summer I'll try to do because it's definitely a little bit more of a summer build game. I've been hoping for like a really good snowstorm so we could do like a Division LARP video, because that would just be really easy. A lot of my stuff kind of is a little bit Division or themed because like the hunk video was like super challenging to do, especially with the gas mask and stuff like that. One moment, let me let my cat know. He's trying to get into the treats. So I've been really wanting to do that, but it just we haven't got good snowstorms in my neck of the woods in like 2 years. We got a little bit of snow today, and it was just a skiff. But I've been out filming for the last like couple days for like the MVMD, and I'm like I'm not going out again. And there's not enough daylight, and by the time the weekend comes, the snow is going to be gone. So I'm super disappointed about that. I love the silver stake in Breakpoint because it's the Magpul. Yeah, that's the one you get for. Is that the one you get for killing Walker? That's like his rifle and his pistol. division kit because like I like the Soder mask. Because we've got this is always the one that people call like my division loadout. Scroll. Yeah, here we go. So like this is a pretty let's do it with the Flux Raider. This one is like a very heavily division. This kit here, mask and everything like that. I want to do it with like a long jacket, but it'll be kind of like this. And then we'll have a sling bag on. We'll go for like some form of Hazard 4 sling bag because I mean a lot of them were kind of based off of those. And then we'll probably do a Vector. Ubisoft games love the Vector Soder, and then we'll have a drop leg platform as well because they have stuff on everywhere. But this is close to the kit, but I want to do like a full thing with probably a bit of a different jacket. I like this jacket, but it doesn't feel amazing. Yes, bring the division kit. We'll do it eventually. I'm just waiting for the right. I want to have like a snowy like Division 1 vibes, like the Dark Zone from there. I didn't like the second one's setting as much. Okay. Recently picked up and played the Division 2 and loved it. It's amazing. I like the Division. I just don't want it to be bullet spongy. I know they have like a realistic setting coming out. It was announced, but I think that was a temporary mode. But that was one of my big things that I didn't like with it was bullet spongy enemies. I just couldn't. Yeah, gotta close a car door too. Yeah, it was so cool. Just funk. It was like, wow, amazing. They interact with the environment. And in like 2013, it was pretty rad. But bullet sponge pisses me off. It was so bad. I love the idea of the Dark Zone. Dark Zone's cool. Running into folks in there that is like could be good, could be bad. You definitely got trolled a few times. They did have some stuff in the second one because you would accidentally shoot someone in the original one. Like you were extracting with some folks and defending a drop point or extraction point, and you accidentally land one shot on a teammate, and then boom, it would mark you as rogue, and then everyone would turn on you and destroy you, which I kind of understand. But in the words of a beloved Moist Critical, it was a misinput. And you got just brutalized for it. And so in the second one, you like had to like hold a button and go rogue that notified everybody around you that you had chosen to go rogue. And that gave them a few extra seconds to like kill the person that had gone rogue. So I think that was a good quality of life thing. Dark Zone was so toxic, basically a first gen Arc Raiders. Yeah. But it was cool. That was one of the first like kind of like extraction shooter games. It wasn't quite an extraction shooter, but that was like my first taste of it, and that's what I think kind of started some of my love for it. Some people hack in there just to grief people into Dark Zone. I believe it. There's plenty of people that, I mean, a lot of people hack. I think it starts like this. Some people hack because they think other people are hacking and they're trying to get a leg up, or they're dying from cheaters. The game is no longer fun because they're hacking, because they're either winning everything, and then in order to get like some form of satisfaction from the game, they start killing other people and griefing other people, and that's how they get it. I think that's like the chain, the circle of hacking, and it makes it so toxic. I was searching the wiki if they had the Mossad, and I was sad that they didn't have anything, and I found the 308 ACR 5 minutes after logging back on for the Division. Have you found what you would describe as your perfect bleed out spot? When I do, all right, okay, listen. A friend has let me borrow his Chiappa right now. I have to pronounce it Chiappa because everybody has murdered me in the YouTube comments because I said Chiappa so many times. I didn't know. Okay, I'm gonna do a kind of like a Blade Runner themed video with the Chiappa Rhino because it seems so like futuristic. We will have the perfect bleed out spot. with the Chiappa Rhino. That will be like either part of the intro or part of the closure of it. But very, very excited about that. I'll probably do that, pair it a little bit with like a Flux Raider. That's kind of futuristic. But that'll be the video. I've had like the jacket for it for like 2 years now for that exact video. The checkpoints that they added in the Division with like the guns that would just destroy people that were rogue were a good quality of life improvement as well. That was good. There was a bad spot in the building that only had one entrance, so people would just sit up there and go rogue. Yeah, the Division 1 had a lot of things in there that weren't. Ubisoft didn't figure like this would be like a terrible thing for players. It was pronounced Chiappa the whole time. Well, the thing is, like, oh yeah. So me, yeah, you and me both, because like like, oh yeah, like it seems like Chiappa, but like there's a video where I'm like, I have a friend's Chiappa Rhino, and like I'm heavily memeing it, right? I'm heavily memeing the gun. Like, would I carry this gun every day? Maybe. Meaning people have just been like every week I usually get a comment of someone calling me an R-tard or something like that, or my opinion doesn't matter because I said Chiappa instead of Chiappa. Like, it isn't even my gun. I didn't know. Get the memory reboot ready. Oh, you know we are gonna have that in there. You know we're gonna have it in there. That's for the Bleeding Out song. I swear I've heard millions pronounce it Chiappa, not Chiappa. Yeah. I think apparently, I mean, and this is just from the YouTube comments, it is Chiappa. But I think a lot of people, and that's how, that as far as how it reads, that it looks like Chi. Okay. So you can't blame a brother for mispronouncing it, but people are very adamant about that. I heard this girl working at a gun shop pronounced Geisley Gazelle. So I tried so hard not to bust out laughing. Jeff and Jeff, yeah. I have a friend who I won't say him, but he is a mod for my Discord, and he calls it this ironically now, but I caught him in it, and it was not ironic. He pronounced it jizzle. It's like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about like I really want like a jizzle trigger. I'm like, what? A jizzle trigger? What? What? And he like shows me like a Geisley. He's like, yeah, jizzle. Like, it's pronounced Geisley, dude. It's pronounced Geisley. And so now he says jizzle because it's funny, but you know, it happens to everyone. It happens to everyone. No way. Funny story. 2005, I was in Jamaica, and all me and my brothers, we were ordering drinks, and we'd get strawberry daiquiris. Just like the little, non-alcoholic thing. I was in 5th grade, and my brother went up. He'd never ordered. We're like halfway through this trip. We'd been there for like 5 or 6 days, and he orders it's like, I'll have a strawberry daiquiri, please. And then the guy, the waiter, the bartender, his name was Scooby. And he just goes, and then he looks at me and my brothers, and he had to have thought, like, is this guy clowning me? We all looking around. He wasn't clowning. He just mispronounced daiquiri, and it was just like, have a strawberry daiquiri, please. So that is just like a core memory now of my brother, and it's such a fun moment. Whenever we talk about the Jamaica trip, it's strawberry daiquiri. I was at a shooting range and heard some older man talking about his Smith and Wesson, his Smith and Wesson. Oh, that could be like a fun, honestly. You know what? That's a great idea for a short. Because like it'd be fun to say, Chiappa. It's like I was saying Chiappa Rhino, so wrong. So what are some gun brands that you've heard that have been mispronounced or that you have mispronounced? We're making it a short. Let me add it to my list because I think that'll be kind of funny. Mispronounced gun brand names. Boom. It's on the list. Hickory dickory. Yeah, I think it'd be funny. I love just little silly shorts like that. Little silly shorts like that. So people realize that I'm not too serious. Can I get a Rennington 870? A Rennington. Oh, that shit's funny. That shit is too funny. Oh man. Oh well. Can I? I've needed to vent about this for a couple days. I've needed to vent about this for a couple days. So this might come across as a little toxic from me, but it's bothered me. This dude has been around for my channel. He's been commenting for a while. He had about 36 comments on my channel from the very beginning. And should we just pull it up? Do you want me to pull it up? Let me pull this up. You guys are going to see all my analytics and see how terrible my channel is. Community. What are you doing, Roach? My cat's freaking out. Okay. Well, I think he calls me an idiot. Well, no, he calls me a fuck. Let's see. It was about 13. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Let me zoom in for you folks. So this guy, okay, he's been around the channel for a while. Has always been like an okay dude. I think at one point in time he was mad at me because he said I wasn't responding to his comments. But then I looked back because I can see all the comments that he's done or I've done, and I've responded to all of them. And like he's had conversations with me, so I'm like I like we've had conversations before, and you've been responding back and forth to me, and so like he was fine. Like 8 months ago was his last post. It was on like my barrel roll video, and he was just like, "Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you being like around and kind of that sort of stuff. Thanks for responding to my comments." And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure, man." And I told him like, the people are my favorite part of YouTube. I've said that so many times because it truly is the truth. And then we're gonna watch this video, and then you all can make up your own mind here. I'm not trying to be toxic against this guy, but like it truly bothered me. So here we go. Let me turn. Okay, so a super tame video. It's a super tame video, and I'm just talking about shooting a little bit longer range, increase your precision, which I think we should all do. We can all do. I didn't in the video, I didn't specify self-defense, but like for me, like my channel is very focused on self-defense, but this could have been very focused on competition shooters because there's plenty of competition shooters that do it. And so here we go. It's a fucking pistol. If you're shooting 50 yards, you are a fucking retard. Okay. I'm like, and this guy's been like a sub of my channel. Well, he was. He's not anymore. He unsubbed for like I think like a year and a half. And so like I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked. Can it show my replies? Oh, gosh dang it. Let me see if I can pull up my replies in here so I can read them to you. Okay, here we go. And I said, "I'm disappointed, man. You've been around for a long time. I thought you would understand the reason for a 50-yard shot right now, especially with the name you decided to give your account. His name is My Guns Keep You Safe." For that kind of person, like it's like you would think that's like, yeah, like self-defense or maybe like taking out an active shooter, like my guns keep you safe, right? And so like that's cool, whatever. And like so it's like, all right, No, you only wanted to see if your own and push others to be better for sure. And like, I didn't specify anything because I have heard people say like a 50-yard shot, like you should never do as in a self-defense setting. And I get that. But there are some things where I disagree. Active shooters is not a self-defense situation. You are dealing with a gunman. And then I talk about this a little bit in my response to him because I do have a reason for a 50-yard self-defense shot, which is an active shooter drill. In where I worked, there was a building. And it's like there was offices all around and then big open atrium in the center. And there was a gunman in the building, got reported in the building. They were there. They ended up not like there was no threat or anything like that, but someone like showed a gun. It scared some people. And then I was out there talking with someone, and then a couple our office showed up with their ARs and everything like that. And then we had to go lock down and stuff like that. Across the other side, which is where the gunman was spotted, and this was like I was been carrying for like 2 years at this point in time. Across is 50 yards in that building. And so what it did in my head was if someone was shooting on the other side of the building, there's no cover, there's no way for me to move up because it's an open atrium, pillars on each side. If someone was shooting, say, people in this area, then a 50-yard shot would absolutely be necessary. And I knew at that time I could not take that shot. My skills were not there. They just weren't. And that was a really, really eye-opening moment for me because I knew I was lacking. And if I had to make that shot, 25 was like the longest I've ever shot. And I wasn't that good. I was new. I had this idea that 7 yards is the self-defense range, which truly that is most self-defense ranges. But there's more than that. And in that situation, I had a bunch of my staff, everyone was scared and they were freaking out. It's like, if I had to take that shot, I couldn't. And there wasn't a great way to like move up and engage the threat if that was a situation that I found myself in, because it was a completely open area. Like it was a big open atrium. You would just get absolutely slammed. And so a 50-yard shot would absolutely be necessary in order to do that. So let's go back to this response. Okay. And so it's only showing a couple things, maybe delete some stuff, but I said, I'm disappointed, man, because I've talked about the 50-yard shot for a long time. And I've referenced Elijah Dickens, which is a perfect example of kind of like an extended range shot. Cause he was shooting, I think he started shooting at approximately 40 yards. And so, but like, that was my reason for it. That was my real life situation for it. And this was this guy's response. Like completely went off the rails, unhinged. And I said, I'm disappointed, man. I thought you would know about this by now because you've been around for years. Dude, I'm disappointed if you think it's responsible to shoot a fucking pistol at 50 yards to defend yourself. I'm a 5th generation gunsmith. Guns have put meals on my son's plate than you will ever provide for yours. You best check yourself. You're just a fucking YouTuber. Guns have been in my lifeline for my blood for 200 years. Pretty sure I know 1 or 2 things more than a clown that makes videos which are somewhat entertaining. Do not ever think you are on the same level as me or 50% of your viewers whom you routinely disrespect. I have been around since your followers were in 4 digits. I have never heard a thank you. I've never heard you thank your viewers. You are a sad little man. I am done. Unsubscribed. Never gonna hear from me again. Go fuck yourself. 8 months previous to that, he had been commenting on a video and he said that he was lonely. He didn't have friends. He was disabled and he was having a hard time talking with people and having like a hard time finding people with his interest. I invited him to the Discord. And he says like, I don't expect a response from you. He told me like, I don't expect a response from you, but like, I appreciate it when you do like acknowledge my comments. And I'm like, I comment on nearly every comment I've ever had on my channel. I receive 1.2 thousand comments a month and I respond to almost all of them because people are my favorite part of YouTube. And that's always been it for me. If there wasn't the people, I wouldn't do it because it isn't fun. All right. I do this because I want to try to help people and I want to connect with people. And I've like met such incredible people. And he says this, and it's like weird that you go off the rounds like this. It's like, I thank people all the time. like all the time. Now, I'm not gonna put like I don't usually like thank people in a short form content because the attention span is about 25 seconds in a short, and there just usually isn't time for it. But I feel like I try to say thank you to my viewers, but like I say thank you all the time. I'm like, thank you for being here, thanks for viewing, thanks for commenting, and like I try to express my thankfulness because I am thankful. And personally, I thought I was doing a good job at it, but maybe he didn't. But it's like if you just look at like my channel from like 4 months ago, I made a post like my 2 year thing, like thanks everyone for being here. But you can see all in a bunch of my responses that I am thankful. And I feel like me taking the time to respond to thousands of comments and DMs, I think shows that like I am grateful for all this, right? And so let's see if we can find the rest of this. Let's do YouTube is so let's do thanks for being here. Okay, so here's my response. Here's my response. And like, bear with me, this is a long response, but I was very passionate about it. Okay, so this is right after he calls me like a fucking retard for wanting to take a 50-yard shot with no preference. And then he says that I'm incapable. But like, dude, okay, whatever. Like it, like I hate when people like try to boil someone down to like what they are online. Because he's like, you're just a YouTuber. I'm like, okay. I'm like, if that's the case, then you were just a commenter. But that's not the case. There's way more than that. Like I'm a sexual assault investigator. I investigate those people for 50% of my job every single day. And like I work with bad people sometimes. So here we go. I said, my man, this is going to be a long response, but I hope you read it because I truly do. I've always been thankful to the followers of my channel. I've said it many times in so many videos and the thousands of comments that I respond to monthly because it is truly thousands, 1.2 thousand every month. I've said it many times in so many videos. Few YouTubers respond to comments and even fewer respond to every comment as I do. I'm not trying to brag, but that is just the case. That's what I built my brand on. Because the people have always made YouTube fun. If it's in DMs with questions in the middle of the night or someone reaching out for help because of a mental health crisis, I've always been there for my viewers. I helped PD track down a random commenter on a video who was intent on taking their own life with a single comment and a video left on one of my videos. I found a serial number on a gun video that they posted and provided officers states away with the information they needed to intervene before he made a terrible mistake. Don't you dare say that I don't care about the people that have supported me to get me here. Don't you dare. I was very, very passionate about that because I did do that. Someone said that they wanted to end things. I was worried. I reported to YouTube. YouTube did dick all. Okay. The only thing YouTube did was delete the comments. They didn't do anything else. So I found the comments again. I found the guy's profile. He also posted on his channel that he was ending things. And then he had a couple videos showing off a new gun he purchased. I found the serial number of the gun. I called the police and then they ended up like, he was states away from me and they ended up doing it. So don't you fucking say that I don't care about the people that have like been around in my community. Don't you fucking say that to me. Like I'm extremely passionate about the people that have got me here. Okay. So like, fuck you for saying that. Fuck you. And like it was this thing that I've been around since you were in 4 digits. If you have actually been here and around, you would know. Because I responded to every one of his comments and I had a legitimate conversation with him before he was ever toxic. Okay. So now we get into the original comments. In regard to the original comment in the video, there have been several active shooters who were stopped with a concealed carry citizen who made a shot at approximately 35 to 40 yards. Very impressive stuff. Active shooter strays a bit out of the realm of self-defense, but I think if you have the capability to take out a threat like that, you should. It could save countless lives. And if you can hit a target at 50 yards, you're going to be able to hit a target at 7 yards. Okay. If you're aiming that precision, even under stress and stuff like that, you're going to be way more likely to hit that. So it's just a good training, right? Elijah Dickens in 2022 engaged approximately 40 yards. This is a very popular example of such a case and one that I've used many times before. You've been around a long time, and I've talked about this so many times because I am very passionate about it, which is why your statement caught me off guard. When I was a new CCW holder, there was a gunman in the building I worked in, across from my office on the other side, which was about 52 yards. Big open atrium, pillars on each side, no cover or concealment in the center. At that time, knew I could never make a shot like that with the skills that I possessed. This certainly pushed me to take CCW more seriously and push my skills out past 7 yards that was advertised so much for self-defense. Nowadays, if there's a threat on the other side of the building, I know that I at least have the base skills to hit a shot at that distance. Of course, adrenaline, fear, and stress absolutely come into play here, but we never know how we're going to react in that moment until we actually are in that moment. We try to put stress into the equation to help simulate it, etc., etc., etc. Okay. The big thing is, if it's not safe to take the shot, don't take the shot. I've said that before. I've said this several times. But if there's an opportunity to stop evil for the folks that are truly evil, don't let it be the lack of skill that stops you. Hopefully this helps, man. I'm grateful for your support over the years. If this is your final video, I understand. But I do hope you can see my perspective on this. Cheers, mate. Thanks for being here. Okay. Him saying that I disrespect my viewers is wild to me, because I will respond to a hate commenter every now and again. Okay. Like I don't try to do it too much, but like I receive like 5 or 6 hate comments every single day. Like normally if my channel is like at a little bit of incline, like we're getting like 100K views a day, I will like, they'll be like 20 to 30 to 40 making fun of me or something else, something like that. But if I respond, like if I put like a comment like that and I'm kind of like, ribbing him a little bit, it is always going to be someone who has responded at least 7 or 8 times on my channel with nothing but hate. If I just have someone who just like leaves a comment and it's something that I don't totally agree with, I'm not gonna rib him for that, because like I know I'm not right about everything. But there are people sub to my channel who just hate watch, and I can see every comment for the past 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, however long it is, and it's just like every 2 or 3 months it's a hate comment attacking me in some way, and like I will respond to those. And honestly, as far as responding to like terminal hate commenters, I feel like I do it in a pretty respectable way, because I try not to be toxic, but it is kind of fun to kind of like, just have a little fun with the comments. Okay. So I don't disrespect my viewers. If anything, it's like I will rib on a little bit of my hate commenters, but like people call me like names and shit like that every single day, whatever. They say some terrible things, but that's YouTube, that's the internet, that's how it is. But sometimes they go across the line. But I mean, I respond to every comment. I respond to it in a positive way. So like saying that I disrespect my viewers is a wild take, because it is so far from the truth. And I did take personal offense to that, because like I said, I've been bothered about this for a couple days now. Like, why, like, don't come in with this argument from authority thinking, and it being so far off base. It is so far off base. I never feel like you once disrespected or insulted, but if anything, you're the reason to get out to the range every week. And that's always kind of what I've been about. That's always kind of been about. Like 2 years ago, I had a comment that was like a video that was like kind of, I mean, it wasn't rude or anything like that, but it was a little bit saucy. And some people commented on to like, toxicity only breeds toxicity. And you're like, you're right. So like, I don't usually respond, or I don't make like a video like that anymore, because like I want to try to keep it positive, but I'll respond to stuff every now and again, but I try to keep it, I try to keep it semi-professional. I want my grandmother to be proud if she were to see whatever I made. So it's like, you're gonna go off on me like this, and with just the least amount of evidence. And like this guy, well, like a couple months ago, was just like you're the best, man. Thank you for always being there, responding to my comments, and like you're so awesome because you're one of the few guys that actually responds. Like that's like the comments that he was leaving. It's like, hey man, like no problem. He was talking about feeling alone and getting connected, and he called himself a sad little man. And then he calls me that a couple months later. And like, dude, join the Discord. There's a lots of like-minded folks in there that like you could get to know. And if you're feeling isolated, there's a lot of really cool people in there, and there's probably someone with the same flavor of like gun autism that you have. So what the fuck? What the fuck? The guy just going off the rails. So I had to vent that. Believe it or not, this was the full reason why I wanted to stream today, because I wanted to get this off my chest. So I was tilted. Your response wasn't toxic, and that's true. Like even here, like you are, like he's just straight up like insulting me like completely, and like I'm like I want, like, it was a long response, but for someone who has been around for so long, I felt like he needed to hear that, especially the portion where it's just like I don't care about these like people. It's like no, like very, very few YouTubers will ever like respond to that many. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that everyone needs to do that, but like I try to show my gratitude by like physically interacting with everyone, because I feel like that it's way more real, because it's meant to be, because it is real, than like saying me creating a short. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Like I feel like responding to your comments is way better. And I've learned so much from the YouTube comments. I've learned so much from some other folks still too. It's like, try this, try that. So yeah, met some incredible people like who S Miller. That's our resident comp shooter, who showed me just how fast you could be with a left-handed Glock and gear that isn't yours. So yeah, that was that. I was so frustrated with it. And I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. You're gonna come here and speak that kind of bullshit on the Reaver Approach channel? So there you go. There's my toxicity. I used to make content, so I know the weird ass trolls, and yeah, like there's lots of trolls, and that like that is part of YouTube. And when I was first making YouTube, when I was first starting my first video, my like that went viral, I guess you could say, which was like 100K views. 100K views, which like isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it was the most any one of my views went. And it was talking about like, hey, if you've got a plate carrier and you've never used it and you just sit in your closet, like get out there and actually train, and actually use it, because you need to practice in it, right? And it was just kind of like fun and stuff like that. But there's two things. One, I'm wearing all black. People don't like that. I get it. Two, my fanny pack full of bullets pushed my shirt up like this much. Okay. This much. They saw like a half an inch of skin. And the most liked comment on that video is, behold, the mythical belly button operator. Fuck. And so people were just razzing me, and they're like, it's like, imagine telling everybody to get out and use your gear when you've got your beer buddy hanging out like he does. Like, I'm 170 pounds and 6 feet tall. Like, I don't have a beer belly, but like you did see a little bit, but like it was just my fanny pack. Okay, it just pushed up my shirt. Now, whenever I go out, I have like 3 shirts tucked in, so it never happens again. But that video spurred on like a lot of hate for the rest of my channel. And then the Jawbone video like went off on it too. And it's like, sometimes it just like, it isn't fun. It's like, oh yeah, you gotta just get over it. It's like, true. Yeah, whatever. But sometimes it just sucks. Like you wake up in the morning, you open up, and it's like 30 comments in the row of people just like saying like kind of awful things. And it's like I worked like for like 2.5 hours on that particular little segment, or that particular short out of my time, when I was like a full-time student working full-time, and like, why am I even doing this if all I'm gonna do is like, if I'm gonna read these effing comments? So it was wild sometimes. Honestly, he acted like a spoiled kid who wasn't getting enough attention from you. I was like, man, I don't know. Like I respond to every one of his comments. Maybe maybe the whole disappointed comment put him over the edge, but like he started off calling me a retard or something like that. Like, I've talked about this so many times. There's perfectly good reasons why you would want to take a 50-yard shot, There's always going to be a person who hates something different, or they used to. I always wear shin guards when I go do airsoft, and people always mock me for it. I just like the way it looks. I kind of like leg armor too. It looks cool, like greaves and stuff like that. I love that. But yeah, it truly is like people will find any reason to be toxic. There is a video of just me and Quantum, and it was just like a little let's watch it. Let's watch it. Shorts. I believe it's my size matters video. Come on, load. Can I search? Size matters. Okay. What? Size? Okay. Oh, yeah. Does size matter? Here we go. Here we go. Let's window. Boom. Share. Here we go. This was like the most chill, the most like chill video of all time. And like it got close to 500,000 views. And there was some truly like mean people in there. Here we go. That's literally all it was. And let's see if we can find some eight. Usually a little bit lower, or we got to go to newest, or else it'll hide them for us. It's just okay. Let's see, but it's like boom, 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 boom. Is this a liberal gun channel? It's like I don't know. No, it's not. Like this guy went on a little bit of a tangent for a while. It's not Western. It's like a lot of Western guys like drew like from a cross draw, but it's like, you know, whatever. Like they didn't cross draw on Westerns with literally, and I don't think that's true. You know, fucking cringe, which is like a very like common comment on my channel. Very common comment. Cornball activity. You know, it's like, oh, this is fine. So dumb and so scripted. He had that thing in his hand waiting. She didn't know what I was going to do, but whatever. When Democrats get their first guns, not true. Not Democrat. Ban kids grown up. There is a lot of like active shooter shit that gets brought up, and usually I think YouTube tries to hide it. I need to bleach my eyes after seeing this. I guess he didn't, but it's like corny, creative people idea. It's like okay, it's like it was the most like it's like a 12-second video, and the amount of people that just attacked Quantum just for her being a woman or a girl on the channel or a girl with a gun or just like a pretty girl with a gun, I don't know, but like this is why Quantum doesn't show up on the channel very much anymore. Everybody's always like, where's Quantum? Like it sucks for her, because if a video ever does like outside of like the regular like community, people get so toxic and they just attack like the way she looks. And she's like, I feel like I can't win because I feel like I cover up a lot. She doesn't it's not like she's a gun bunny or something like that. And that's something we've always tried to avoid, because like gun girls out going in like swimsuits and shooting full auto guns and those overly gratuitous shots. Like I don't like that. I don't like that. But you know, that's just me. I'm not a fan of that content. I would never want to do that kind of content, especially with Quantum. But like she comes on here, and the thing is, she reads every comment. She usually gets the comments before I do. She's read every comment since I was at 300 subs. So for years and years and years. And like I'm used to people calling me like names and shit like that. But like she comes in and just like she doesn't want to read that kind of shit every day, like attacking her for no fucking reasons. Like here is just like a silly little thing. It's not shooting, it's not anything, but it's just, It's just this, and there's like comments and stuff like that. There's some weird ones, and then so it's just it's weird, and that's why she doesn't she doesn't want to come back on the channel too much, is because of shit like this. She's like, my hair is like really nice today, and like she doesn't want to be on camera because she's like I feel like I'm too dressed up for the channel. Like, all right. She's responded to one of my comments before. It was something goofy, and the thing is, she's so funny. She's so funny. She's so hilarious. Like I've always liked that about her, and she's very creative. And like our very first like videos together, when she like put on my gear and was like cosplaying as Reaver, has been like some of like the most loved content of the channel. And then she doesn't feel confident coming up because it sucks being insulted. Like I get that. But she's also like, I don't want to pull away from your channel if people think that you're just trying to bring a gun bunny on for views. Like, I'm not. You've just been a supporter of the channel for so long. She edited one of the videos, the gun range video. She edited most of that and put that all together, and I thought that was a really fun video. Very, very, very fun. Quantum never deserves to be insulted for just having fun. It's like, honestly, like nobody does. Nobody was unsafe here. All guns were pointed in a safe direction. All the guns were unloaded too, and we were just kind of like goofing around. And that's like the thing, is like we don't really have many scripted things. She'll have like, she's like, I'm gonna ask you this question. All right, like, oh, like let's read this comment and then we can have a response. But like none of it's ever like scripted or anything like that. Or it's like, oh, like it'll be like, oh, here's a good idea for a short. Like let's see if we can, shoot it 50 yards and see who can do better. Like that's the only scripting we get. If you guys don't know, I don't have a script for my channel ever. The only thing that I do is when I'm filming shorts, I go out with a list of like talking points. Like I'm like, I want to talk about drawing with a new holster. I want to talk about like steel body armor, and I want to talk about battle belts. And that's all I have. And I just have a list of stuff. I've never had a script ever. So it's like, we don't script stuff because like I don't have fucking time to do that. And like you can tell some of it's unscripted because like some of it's unorganized with like my long formats, and that's just part of it. But we've never had it. We've never done anything scripted. But if the dude next to you is worth a lick, he would tell you that cross draw is about the dumbest thing you can do. You only want to cross draw unless you're sitting down at the table playing cards. Stop with the impractical, goofy shit. Someone's gonna copy it and get hurt. She just wanted to try it, dude. We weren't advertising it. She just wanted to try it. That's all it was. It's the best type of content. True feelings, not rehearsed. And like that's just how it is. I mean, one long format video I tried to have a script for, and it was my digital scopes video back in like March of 2024. And honestly, it made it harder. Talking off the cuff has always been a little bit easier for me. And I'll go and like, I need to hit like these 5 or 6 points. I need to hit these 5 or 6 points. And that's what I try to do. And like, sometimes I'll miss things and I have to like go and reshoot or do like a little voiceover or like film something in here, but whatever. But I'm just ranting at this point in time. This is fucking weird. Why are you all dressed like some dumbasses? And it's like, this is a pretty tame loadout. You should see our other outfits. It's like I've got a battle belt on and then a scarf, but it's like it's the same scarf. I've worn a scarf since 2010 every single day. Unfortunately, it's part of the tactical world, but that was really this was even before that I got into shooting and stuff like that. Now I see myself without a scarf, or someone else sees me without a scarf. It's like, why do you look weird? I'm like, that's because I'm wearing a hoodie without a scarf. Anyway, there's my rant. Thank you for letting me rant and get that off my chest. Sometimes I just gotta do it, Boyth, everyone always kind of making fun of my speech pattern because I can't feel my goddamn tongue. So these are like the ones that always like truly bother me, like the ones who like make fun of like they like a lisp or something like that. Because like I've been working on that forever. I've been working on that forever. Like I shattered my skull. I don't have feeling in the left side of my face or my tongue. And it's hard. It is hard to talk. And some days it's worse than others. And then I become like hyper aware of it. And then it becomes like worse for me. I'm trying to, and then it becomes worse for me because I become hyper aware of it. Like, am I putting my tongue in the right spot? Am I putting my tongue in the right spot in my mouth? And it's hard. But it's like you can see where the thing broke my face. But like I don't have sensation. Do muscle relaxers help? No. I went in because like this, left side of my skull got shattered. Didn't go in for anything. Like a month later, I didn't have any feeling in my face and it still felt weird. And I developed some bad speech patterns because I couldn't feel my mouth. And so I got lazy with my speech and like a little bit of a lisp happened. It just happened. And I can't feel my tongue. And it's just, I always kind of, and so I went into it, the doctor is like, what is going on here? What is going on here? And then they're like, went and got an MRI. And I shit you not. I sat down with a neurologist and then the doctor walks in after my MRI. It was like a month later. So she had all like the scans and then she's got her laptop and she walks in. She's like, wow, your face is messed up. And then she looked up at me like, this is a bit. It wasn't. And she's like, were you hospitalized for this? I'm like, no. Should I have been? She's like, yeah. And so like the skull shattered, went into a couple areas and then it healed slightly out of like sync. And then one or two of the nerves, I forget, it's like a C something, nerves just got like pinched and it's just been fucked ever since. And I went in, it's like, well, you might be able to get surgery to fix it. And then I went in and talked to the surgeon and they're like, do you have chronic pain? I'm like, no, sometimes like it feels weird, but like not chronic pain. They're like, is it heavily affecting you? I'm like, well, I learned how to talk again. Not amazing, but I learned how to talk again. It's like, then we don't recommend doing it because apparently you can leak spinal fluid from working on some of those nerves. So like, if you don't have to, don't do it. Oh, my bad. I didn't know about that part. It's like, it's fine. I've only talked about it one time, just because there was when my channel was first starting, like so many people were making fun of me for it. And it sucked. It really did because it is really embarrassing. But it didn't stop me from doing anything. But I made a video and it only got like a few thousand views. So not a lot of people saw it. And it's something that I've actively been always trying to work on. I always try to like compare past and it's like, what am I doing differently? But like, just imagine trying to like put your tongue in a different place than you've talked to in your entire life. And it's hard. It is hard, especially when like you can't feel where it's at. And I thought I fixed it. And apparently I didn't. And then I think I'm doing pretty good. And then someone comes in and like, you have a lisp, your opinion's invalid. Like, fuck. I guess you're right. So kind of annoying, but like those are kind of stuff. It's like, why, why? It's like, why? Bro, it's not embarrassing. That's hardcore and impressive that you bounce back and hold your head. I mean, it sucked. It sucked. I don't think I could show it, but when it happened, my face was just like spraying. It was out going past my boots. And then I drove home. I couldn't stop the bleeding. And so I ended up using Quick Clot with a friend and then like shoving it in there. And then that stopped the bleeding. But it was a lot. It was a lot. My face was like super swollen up. Drove home. I was in a rental car. And so I was really trying. I had a close to a 2-hour drive home. And trying to get home in time or trying to get home without getting blood in this rental car. And I get out of the car and I sneeze and the blood clot and it just starts spraying out again. And it was just going at it. Cause head wounds, they just bleed. Like, God damn. What kind of fanny pack do you wear on your kits? I have no idea. It was it's like a $5 fanny pack that I got from like some work convention. It's a piece of shit. But yeah. That's what happened with my face. And so the bleeding wouldn't stop. Like, okay. So I went inside and my friend years ago, he gave me some suture kits. He worked at a hospital and I just it only took 3 or 4 stitches and I just stitched it back together. and not that big of a deal, but I was doing it in the mirror, and so everything's backwards and it's close to your eye. It's like, so it took me like a half hour to tie like 3 knots. You drove for 2 hours while bleeding from your face. I got the the quick clot in there, and then I took some gauze from my IFAC and then some medical tape, and I taped it around my face, and it was like a dumbass eye patch right here. It was leaking, but it wasn't like actively bleeding. But it was just kind of like, it was just like slowly like run. I didn't realize how bad it was, but I was in bumper to bumper traffic for a little bit, and I had this thing taped to my face on the left side. So like everyone on the other side, I remember being stopped. And then some kid, they must have been 12 to 14. They were staring through their window at me because I had tape going over my face, and I just like turned to him like, and then moved on. But it was stupid. But there you go. There's a story of my speech issues. Eventually, I'm going to go to a speech therapist and try to completely fix it. I've been doing a lot of stuff on my own, and I study my speech patterns in my videos every single day because I'm editing. I'm like, oh, I'm doing that wrong, or I mess it up. And so, I mean, for those of you who are wondering, that's where it came from. That's where it came from. All right, though. I think that's gonna be it for me. I want to go and I want to play Helldivers. I need to feed my cats because they're excited for their soft food. Cinder's right here behind my monitor. Here's a little kitty. Oh yeah. Enjoy that. A little treat for you. But yeah, appreciate y'all hanging out and being here. I've actually liked doing these live streams. I want to try to do them maybe like at least once a month to just be able to chat with everybody. If anything, then we can just hang out and I can like edit a video or something like that, and we can just shoot the shit. It's a lot easier than responding to comments, and a little bit more back and forth, a little bit faster. Thank you, Roach. Thank you. Here's my boy. But thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for always supporting the channel. NVMD video is going to be next. I'll be putting that all together this week. Very excited for that video to come out because I think it's a cool product. And after that, we got to do the video for this. It's all filmed. I just haven't cut it together. And then after that, it's probably going to be the Chiappa Rhino video. You have a good time saving Super Earth. I will try my best. We need to make sure that we can hold back the automaton forces so the sea forces can retreat because we've lost Cyberstan. For all my Helldivers out there. Good luck. Be careful with your stratagems. We don't have a lot of lives. But thanks again, y'all. I guess I'll see you in the comment sections. For Super Earth, yes. Oh, can I show you something? I don't know if I'm allowed to. It's a prop. I won't get in trouble. Do you think I'll get in trouble if I show a prop? Because I have an ultimatum. My friends gave it to me for graduation, and they got me like a 3D printed ultimatum. And so now I will only use the ultimatum as my secondary because it was such a cool gift. It's like a perfect 1-to-1 recreation of the ultimatum. Maybe I can. I'm scared YouTube will be like, F you, and then hit me with a strike. But we'll see. Anyway, I will see you all later. Boop. It'd be cooler if I swung off camera and then I wasn't there anymore. Just like the old Tobuscus. Boop. Boop. Oh, and then they have to hit another button too. So that's really embarrassing. Bye-bye for real this time.